Welcome to the Stanton Chase Los Angeles Executive Search Podcast. I'm not Dr. Nancy Jernigan, and I'm an executive search consultant with our Stanton Chase LA office. And we're here to discuss workplace issues right alongside of real life issues. And today we're excited to have Bill Brewer back on the show with us. Bill and I have worked on a number of searches together. And so welcome, Bill. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Well, let's just jump into a few trends that we see happening in executive search. And so right out the gate, Bill, what do you think you're seeing as summer priorities for human resource leaders, HR leaders, and chief people officers and the like of people who are in charge of other people? What are you seeing as summer priorities?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, it's clearly hiring right now. Hiring's the big focus. Other areas of HR that are important, but clearly getting outweighed by hiring is HR compliance, leveraging technology, training.
Yes.
Those are still important, but the top of everybody's mind is recruiting. What's happening is companies are modifying their priorities right now. We're post-COVID, but we're also seeing the military issues going on and between Russia and the Ukraine, supply chain disruption, lots of things happening that are feeding into the summer, the economy, all that. So we are seeing a modifying of company priorities, reshuffling of leadership roles coming in through that reprioritization. And then the other thing is just as we all see with the Great Resignation, we have a high degree of voluntary resignations occurring out there.
Yeah.
You have workers that are retiring. But then the younger workforce, they're leaving in large numbers. They're being, very selective, and the generation out there is looking for more than just a paycheck. They want meaningful work and flexibility. Out of their new employer, they want mentoring and training, that sort of thing. Right.
Good. Yeah, that fit for purpose or that meaning and making a difference in your work. That's a big topic. I've heard that, and on the candidates that I'm talking to right now is a significant piece of the puzzle.
Yes. The other thing I'll add to that is kind of an interesting trend that is clearly happening through these summer months is there is an increase in outsourcing. So, a lot of, robust HR departments are big enough where they can do many things on their own. And yet we're seeing an uptick in outsourcing. So the biggest area is benefits, followed by payroll from some of the data I was looking. And then you get into the recruiting industry. So the staffing side for the more junior roles, but our own business, executive search, clearly having some significant upticks. I was looking as the global HR practice leader for Stanton Chase, I was looking at some of our data from last year, and we're almost double around the world for senior HR roles that we take on. So we are clearly seeing it within our own search firm, that uptick. The other notable thing is diversity and inclusion has actually, from an outsourcing standpoint, the data I was looking at shows a slight decrease, but it is a slight decrease. And that could be simply that they've that organizations have a good foundation now over the last couple of years with D&I, and so they don't need to outsource as much. So it may not, I'm not trying to say that's no longer a priority. I think it's still D&I is still a big priority with companies.
Oh, yes. Big priority. And I would assume many people are developing their own team because you need some close watch on that as well, even though having consultants come in and other experts come in, it would be critical to help grow that DE&I aspect of, a chief people officer or an HR leader.
Exactly.
Great. Well, also explain in general what we do as executive search consultants. Do you want to take a stab at what do we do for basically both the repeat client, the repeat customer, as well as, a new customer who has not, or a potential client who has not hired an executive search firm in the past?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. The repeat clients, know what we do, and they know we keep working until the job gets done. We move pretty fast with our engagements. Sometimes if there's sometimes our clients can't work as fast as we do because they get hung up with business travel meetings and that sort of thing. We see a little bit of that, but a lot of really good clients are able to jump into as we present candidates to get them interviewed rapidly and make some decisions. But the new clients, I think they get that what we do at Stanton Chase, we're reaching out to the best candidates, and so the best candidates are generally not responding to advertisements or registering their resumes on recruiter databases. They've got their heads down and they're working in their current roles at their current employers. And so a direct outreach by us is getting them to raise their heads and go, oh wow, this is an interesting opportunity. I should be talking to Stanton Chase about that. So we do that, and we always assign 2 senior level people. Nancy, you and I have worked on several assignments together as 2 senior level people, but we always work in pairs, and we don't disappear and have some junior associate do the work. We're the ones that are working with the candidates and speaking very regularly each week with our clients about those candidates as we go through the process.
That's a pretty significant benefit that Stanton Chase offers. I know our clients really appreciate that, from the very first calls all the way to onboarding.
Yeah, and another big thing is our guarantee. Also, we offer a 1-year guarantee. That gives our clients a lot of comfort. Should somebody resign or be terminated by the client, and I would love to say I've never had to do have the trigger guaranteed, but what happens is when it has happened, and it's more of a rarity when we have to come in and with the 1-year guarantee and fill a role that somebody has left, it is because they are top talent, and another search firm has swooped in and grabbed that person probably about month 10 or 11 into their time with the company. But the good news is we're not having our guarantee triggered very often.
Right. Yeah, I think it's pretty critical to know that our clients, both new and ongoing, understand that we work to the very end to find that. Even if they're about to make an offer and they're negotiating, we're still working at finding that other candidates to consider. I think that's a great aspect of what it's good for our clients, knowing that that's how we work as well. Up to the very end, we're still submitting new candidates as much as possible.
Yeah, apologize for that. That alarm go off.
Well, also, I think you said that I've heard you say that you love helping C-suite teams, put that best team together. I like to say I really enjoy finding that right person at the right time for the right fit, and putting all the pieces together. Just in closing, wrap up what you love about that, putting that best team together.
Yeah, that's a great question. I spent, the bulk of my career in human resources, and I was a head of HR at 3 different companies along the way. And 10 years ago, I made the decision to switch over to executive search. And it is because I have that passion. I love helping the C-suite really field the best team. And sometimes it's from the simple aspect of there's a vacancy. Well, let's bring the best top candidate, optimize that role. From that standpoint, too, maybe an executive is not performing to their best, and they could actually be repurposed differently in the organization, creating a vacancy and that we could go in and fill. But I love working with senior leadership about that and fielding the best team possible for them.
Yeah. Good. Well, our time has flown quickly. I sure appreciate all your insight. Look forward to having other conversations down the road. But for those of you who have jumped on and listened to us, we hope you have found some key nuggets, and that you'll continue to chime in and listen to and watch our Stanton Chase podcast in the future. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nancy.